Because I am the perfect storyteller.
Are you now?
Yes.
Well, good for you, I guess.
Well, hey everyone, it's your favorite host Tyrell, and without any delays,
Hold it right there. All right, you think that you can just pull your little stunt and get away with it? That's not happening. Now you are gonna know how rude it is to barge into other people's shows.
Fine. We're your hosts, Tyrell and Jonas, and let's kick it to the news. Up first, we recently got a sneak peek at the Heroes and a Half Shell's new movie with the announcement of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. This new film will see the sneaky Terrapins as much younger than we're used to seeing, acting more brash and immature, while still embodying the same traits they've had for over 30 years.
From the look of the trailer, this will be a coming-of-age story in which our four heroes will mature as they explore the big city and take down those who wish to do them harm, including the two iconic villains, Bebop and Rocksteady. While we don't see Shredder in the trailer, which is rather fitting for a ninja, he is bound to make his mark on the movie.
What we do see, however, is the massive voice cast, including Hannibal Buress, Ice Cube, Maya Rudolph, John Cena, Paul Rudd, and many, many more. Make sure to catch it when it releases this August.
Lastly for today, Nerd Central put on their amateur lawyer caps once again as we discussed the legal battle between Paramount versus Warner Bros. Discovery, due to the actions taken by South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker. This lawsuit will be filed as Warner Bros. Believes that Paramount broke their exclusivity contract to exclusively stream the new content from the popular adult animated show South Park.
This is an ongoing lawsuit, and none of us know that much legal mumbo-jumbo, but the basics are this. Back in 2019, HBO Max bought the rights to air South Park on their streaming service. They would get 3 new seasons of 10 episodes each and would stay on the platform until 2025. However, the company who owns South Park and Comedy Central made their streaming service Paramount Plus in 2021, making them regret giving away their biggest show.
This is where the murky part comes in. Like we said, HBO Max was promised 10-episode seasons, but they were only given 6. This coincided with South Park getting new content on Paramount Plus, labeled as special events to get around the wording of the original contract. When the runtime of these episodes was added up, it totaled to around 4 episodes in length, adding to the speculation that South Park was taking away content from HBO Max to put it on Paramount Plus.
The special events that aired on Paramount Plus came from a $900 million contract MTV made with the streaming site, which was said by the New York Supreme Court to also be in violation of the original contract. This has led some to think that this was a way for Matt Stone and Trey Parker to get funding from both streaming services, but that cannot be confirmed. The long and sweet of it is, this is a complicated case, with a lot of moving parts and legal underhandedness. But that'll do it for this week of news. Stay right there because we have Where It All Began of Jessica and Anime Stitch of Olivia. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, I am Jessica Dobbs and welcome to Where It All Began. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite groups of all time. Why don't we? This group of 5 was formed on September 26, 2017 and includes Daniel, Corbin, Jack, Zach, and Jonah. One thing you need to know about this band is they're not your common boy band. They're actually all American. Each one had a dream of making it big in the music world and actually released a few solo songs before they decided to become a band. Their first single, Taking You, was released for their EP album Only the Beginning in November 2016. From this song, their fan base got their name, Limelights, as you hear in the lyrics. The next year, they embarked on their first tour and released 3 more EPs. This tour is when the group finally started gaining popularity. Then, on August 31st, 2018, Why Don't We released their first studio album, 8 Letters. The record debuted on number 9 on the US Billboard 200 and was preceded by 3 singles, Hooked, Talk, and 8 Letters. During their 8 Letters tour in March 2019, they did a special fan project, releasing a new song every month, including I Still Do, Cold in LA, and Don't Change from the STX Entertainment movie Ugly Dolls. After all these songs were released, Why Don't We decided to take a short break so they could write new music. After a 9-month break, the group dropped the first single of their second album, Fallen Adrenaline. The album debuted on the Billboard's 200 charts, landing the number 3 spot, making it their highest ranking they've ever achieved. Trouble then started brewing after they released their latest single, How Do You Love Somebody? Why Don't We had to completely cancel their world tour for their album just days before departure. Truth is, there was a lawsuit between their former manager, David Lawful, and current manager, Randy Phillips, and the band, fighting over the music rights. That then resulted in the band separating on July 6, 2022, and me being sad about it for 8 months. That's all the time I have for Where It All Began. Make sure to comment below on who I should review next. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to KNWT. I am Jessica Dobbs. Thanks for watching. See you nerds next week.
Hello one and all, and welcome to Anime Stitch. I'm your host, Olivia Williams, here to talk about anything anime, from the classics to the brand new, and anywhere in between. And when it comes to watching anime, there are 2 different forms, one being TV shows, and the others is movies. And this week, I'm going to be talking about different anime movies that you should watch. Let's get started. The first one I wanted to talk about is the first anime movie to ever win an Academy Award back in 2003, Spirited Away. This anime movie is about a girl named Chihiro and her parents moving to a new home. And while they are driving, they find an abandoned theme park. And while exploring, her parents end up getting turned into pigs after eating food that was left out on a stall. And it is up to her to change her parents back and get home safely. This movie is really nice to watch. It's definitely a movie that I love to watch multiple times a year. And it still holds up, even though it was released 21 years ago. The next one I wanted to talk about is Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Now, I've talked about Jujutsu Kaisen on this show before, but this one is different from the main TV show because it does not follow the main character, Itadori, but instead, Yuta, and the events that happened prior to Itadori joining the Jujutsu school, and how Yuta ends up having a cursed spirit attached to him. I was able to see this movie when it first came out in theaters, and it did not disappoint. I loved every minute of the movie, and it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And I loved that I got to see some of my favorite characters like Inumaki, Panda, and Gojo. The last one I wanted to talk about is one that is very nostalgic to me, because I remember watching this one multiple times, and that's Ponyo. Yes, the little fishy in the sea. This is where you meet Suzuki, a 5-year-old who finds a goldfish trapped in a glass jar. And when he frees the fish turns into a human, Ponyo. And Suzuki takes Ponyo back to the human world to let her explore that world. But this ends up backfiring when things start to change in the environment, since Ponyo was taken from the ocean. This movie has a very, very special place in my heart because I remember watching it so many times when I was younger, and I never got bored. Well, that's all I have for you for this week on Anime Stitch. I hope one of these movies have caught your attention, and maybe you'll give them a try. And if there's an anime or a movie you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments below. But I'm your host, Olivia Williams, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Okay, I know you're still mad, but come on, it was just like good fun. You know how it is.
Do you know what Garrett did after the camera stopped rolling?
No.
He cried for like ever because of you.
Can we maybe talk about this during the break?
No, you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. I mean, seriously, it's Garrett's senior year. He's leaving soon. You took away half of his show.
Northwest Tower Yearbook has dedicated over a century to documenting life on campus and in the Maryville community. The award-winning organization has numerous Pacemaker Awards and a spot in the Associated Collegiate Press Hall of Fame. Learn more about Tower at the handles below.
welcome back to Channel 8 News.
Hey guys, we're filming behind the scenes for Creative Services. Come check it out. Here with Creative Services, our job is to promote KNWT, give you an in-depth look at our crew members, and shoot behind the scenes of all your favorite shows.
This is KNWT.
And we are
Creative Services.
SBO entity, air to ground, 1 contact. I copy loud and clear also. DHUD, CGSF, JPSX, verify active on 212 and monitor 232 for...
You know, for as mad as I am about you getting on the show, it feels good to be back here.
That's so nice. Do you really mean that?
No, Gen 2 for life.
Hey, we still have Rumor Has It with Libby and Bree and Get the Clip with Joe, so, you know.
Oh, I actually like those ones. I guess I can watch for a little bit longer.
Our spider senses are tingling this week as celebrity heartthrob Tom Holland has been subject to speculation of an engagement to his celebrity counterpart Zendaya. You heard it here on Rumor Has It.
In a recent Instagram post by Zendaya's nail technician, you can catch Zendaya wearing a gold ring with the initials that seem to say TH. Fans of the couple are starting to believe that Tom may have put a ring on it. Keep like their professional life and like their personal life separate, and I love that.
I know like Zendaya is a very private person, like she just goes by her first name.
Yeah.
And so I can see why maybe she would be like the driving force behind the reason why it's super like on the down low.
Yeah.
They've been exclusive.
They have been exclusive. Well, like even like you said, like there was a picture of Tom Holland wearing jeans that have the letter Z on the back of it. And people are like, oh, maybe that's like for Zendaya. Like, would you wear like your spouse's?
Oh, I totally would. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I would.
If you look at Tom's pants, like in that scenario, on the back pocket, it just has like a single, like right there, like a single thread Z. So it's like super minute.
Yeah. Like it's there, but you actually have to like look for it and see it, which I think is kind of cute because it's like he's not flashing it, being like, oh hey look, but it's still like there. And just like with the ring, like it's nothing like too over dramatic. Like there's no diamonds on it. It's just a single like gold band.
Gold ring.
I like that. I like that they do like little stuff like that.
There is speculation about the ring though because they can't tell if it says Z, like ZH or TH. So it could be Tom Holland, it could also be Zendaya Holland.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know like back in 2017, they denied dating, even though there was already a video of them like making out in a car.
I remember that because I remember it blew up everywhere and everyone's like, no, like they have to and everything. And then now when you look back at interviews,
it makes so much sense. There is so much chemistry between these two. It is uncanny.
No, it really is. But yeah, no, like I said, like I like how they keep it separate from like, cause like most people like they do it out there and everything, but to have like somewhat like a semi-normal life, like they've been in their spotlight and everything. So it's like kind of like their thing, they get to keep it and not share with anybody else. And people had speculation because they were co-stars.
Right, for the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, because a lot of the Spider-Man like co-stars, they got together and they end up splitting, and then they're the first two to actually like
stay together.
Honestly, if I was a celebrity, I'd want to keep my relationship on the down low too. I really respect that they can keep their professional and personal lives separate to give them the most normal life possible, even in the limelight.
Me too, and that's pretty much all the time we have for this week's episode of Rumor Has It. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more from us. I'm Libby.
And I'm Bree.
See you next week.
This week's Effect on Get the Clip, we're going to go over the basic element that brings all of our movie magic into the real world: camera tracking. Camera tracking is the starting point of all that beautiful CGI magic, with camera tracking being the first point where the real world and the digital world touch for the very first time. Without it, you've basically got some rendered animations plastered all over your footage with none of the camera movement matching. Camera tracking solves this problem by recreating your camera and its movement in a three-dimensional plane. Inside the 3D software, an effects artist can place elements, having them blend with the same camera movement in the real world. This basic concept is applied to basically all digital special effects that are rendered over footage. And to start camera tracking, we'll need a few things first. First, we'll obviously need some footage, which is typically referred to as the plate. Then we'll need the specific equipment used and footage of a distortion grid. And finally, if you're lucky, a LiDAR scan of the set the footage was shot on. With all of these tools, the first people to use this technology were able to pull off this new concept in the CGI process, in Death Becomes Her. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, he and the special effects team were able to pull off a convincing and quite gnarly effect using only motion match and green screen. Now I'm ready to go and see what happens. With all of that, let's go get the clip. So today I've got Jess, Harmony, and Porter on camera. Say hi, Porter. Hello. And today we are going to be using camera tracking. So Jess, you're going to be pointing knives at Harmony. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let's get started. All right, so we got this spooky light here. Spooky light, thanks to the senior Adam Bocart. So this is the first part. This is the video that we are going to be putting our effect over. All right, Jess, hold out your hand. Harmony, move forward just a little bit. Also, can we turn off that TV? No. No. Do not watch Nerd Central. So the next step is that we gotta get the green screen. So are we all ready for the green screen?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. You have to hold it right where you're at, but higher.
Yeah, just grab it. Yeah, just grab more of the string.
Yeah, there we go. I think I've got it.
Think you got it?
Got it. Thank you all for joining. I think it looks awesome. And with all of that, tune back in next week as we recreate the wondrous world of Hogwarts. See ya.
Okay, this rivalry has gone on far enough. Can like us hosts just like, bury the hatchet?
You're right. We should be lifting each other up, not poking fun at each other.
I agree, yeah. Let's just hope Porter learns that with the new segment of What's the Nerd with a special guest coming up next.
We can only hope.
KNWT for Hire is all about sharing a story, a message, and connecting the community. We cover a multitude of events, both within the university and Maryville. We roll in, we set up, and we capture. We're here to offer an experience, not only for those present, but for all.
Hey guys, I'm Jonas and
And I'm Tyrell Childress. We're both the hosts of Gen 2, your favorite place for all things gaming and really tech related. Come check out our sleek and definitely never nerdy show.
I mean, video games are definitely a part of nerd culture.
Perfect.
So. Anyways, see you there.
Welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of What's the Nerd. With me today is my mortal nemesis, the bane of all nerds, and I guess Gen 2's producer, Lauren Liberty. Say hi, Lauren.
Hi.
So, how are you doing this fine day?
Doing great. Doing dandy. It's a Friday, so I'm,
It is a lovely Friday. Yeah. And, it got a bit worse as soon as you walked through the door. But,
My day as well got worse, Just being in the same presence just kind of like ruins.
Wow, I invite you on my show and all you do is just step.
You tried to take over my show this week, so I don't know.
Yeah, because Tyrell sweeps Miss Gamer Lauren. Tell me, what are the games that really grab your attention the most?
The games that really grab my attention the most, definitely like RPG, open world type games. Those are like my main. When I'm able to do basically whatever I want to do, that's when I'm happiest. If I want to murder everybody, I can do that. If I want to, be a good person, that happens too. Usually happens, but.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. You said that with a lot of conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I just had to legally protect myself.
Yeah, so you've talked about The Sims before, right? So tell me about this. So you can lock Sims within a 1x1 room and remove the ladder when they're in the swimming pool. So are all gamers psychopaths or is it just Sims players?
Sims players probably especially, you know, avid sim players like me probably. You know, having over 7,000 hours, which translates roughly to like getting pretty close to a year of time in The Sims for me personally. Yeah, you go a little insane by that. But you know, all gamers are a little psychotic, I'd say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What do you value most in video games?
I definitely value the story the most. If the story of a game's really able to pull you in and everything, even if you're able to go do your own things, but if the story is still able to transform, whether different options, different choices, or just be able to continue without you following the main plot line and be a good story, I think that's just like makes a really good video game. Because a lot of it is like even taking from like how a good movie is, but like extending it out on a very large scale where you're able to do whatever you want and you're able to choose however you want to go with your character. You can create and choose how your character acts, how your character looks, and all that stuff is really interesting to me and I think is important in a lot of the games I like to play mostly.
I'll ask you another question here. If you can, you know, stomach seeing me anymore. Because
I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah, I'm struggling here. What do you think makes video games different from any other kind of art medium?
Video games are different because of the way that you're able to like interact with them, whether you're able to create different choices, but you feel like you are the character or you are part of the group that is going through whatever the story of the game is. And you're able to just be a part of that in a way that even when you're just watching a movie, you don't necessarily always think that you're a part of it. Some movies, yeah, you feel like, oh, I am in it with them and like I'm in this scary situation with them. But in video games, you're controlling your character, you're being immersed, and you can be immersed in a way that you feel like the characters are like your family or a part of your group and you have to protect them. Or you can even hate them with a passion and just be like, yeah, I wish Timmy would die. And then you have this joke about Timmy and he never dies because he's just an annoying brat. And for some reason he never dies throughout the whole game. And you wish he would, but every time you see Timmy, you're all mad. And so,
That is, I would say, probably the correct answer if there was such one for a subjective question like that. That's why
everything I say is correct, so, you know.
You were just not convincing me you're not a psychopath. That's all we have for this episode of What's the Nerd. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember, removing a woman's right to choose is removing a fundamental part of democracy. Have a good night.
Freddy Fazbear.
You want to be stuffed inside an animatronic suit, or just like the idea of Freddy Fazbear?
The idea of Freddy Fazbear.
I mean, you're pretty scared of me, so.
Yeah.
Come on, it's all good fun.
You know what Garrett did after that episode? He cried.